Coming up on Tech Now, animating the competition, new movies and new digs for Silicon Valley movie makers. A singer so popular she warrants her own social network. The world's biggest social network lets us behind the scenes as it trains the next generation, and taking the wheel of the newest Tesla Model S #1. From the Tech Museum of Innovation in the heart of Silicon Valley, I'm Scott Budman. This is Tech Now. Thanks for watching. It's now among us, the Tesla Model S sedan, slowly rolling out to owners, and we got an exclusive chance to see the first one.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first Model S owner!
And with that, Silicon Valley venture capitalist Steve Jurvetson took ownership of the first Tesla Model S straight out of Fremont.
Here you go.
Symbolically parting a Red Sea of Tesla employees with his new red car, then silently driving to work to show it off.
This is the key.
Opening an all-electric sedan the world has been waiting for. Smooth on the outside, high-tech on the inside, this thing's a gadget unto itself.
That's the only thing I can compare to this, is when I first got my Apple II and I was in love, or my first Macintosh. This is the only thing that compares to that. And in many ways, it's a lot cooler because it's moving you around and it's an immersive experience with all of this richness and attention to detail.
Starting at about $50,000, the Model S is aimed at families. Jurvetson, an early backer of Tesla, says taking his car from the factory was extra cool because of the people surrounding him.
There was this sort of visceral excitement and enthusiasm that all employees had for the work of their labor being made manifest, and the first customer, and such a symbolic handoff of their baby.
It's good to be first, and as Jurvetson has already seen, it's good to drive a Tesla.
The meter maid's coming by and is like, "Oh, is that a Tesla?"
Oh, very nice.
She's like, "That car's too beautiful. I'm not even going to mark the tire." She told me that, and she's like, went right on by.
Speaking of cool things from Silicon Valley, the newest Pixar movie is doing big business, with people asking, how did they do that? We went to Pixar headquarters to get a behind-the-scenes look at the making of Brave.
I am Merida, firstborn descendant of Clan Dunbrog.
Technology in movies is not exactly a brave new world, but the newest technology in the world jumps off the screen during Brave, Pixar's latest movie.
It was a community of fine artists and scientists together, and that neither can overwhelm the other.
We sat down with Brave producer Catherine Serafian at Pixar headquarters, where men in kilts mix with props from medieval Scotland, just like in the movie, starring a heroine made possible by cutting-edge animation.
If you look at Merida and her hair, we didn't have the technology to make that look, but the story required this feisty, untamed spirit and that hair. And it's in her character design, it's in our storytelling. And so our technical team, they look at it and they go, huh, okay, and they dive in.
And then every single scene has one challenge in particular, that's unique to that scene, and you bring it back to the technological people, and you bring it back to the character modelers and the riggers, and, oh, Merida can't make this particular smile. Well, can you give her another smile? No, that's not her character, it's not the motivation of the scene.
I take it the talk didn't go too well.
For Pixar, the motivation is the marriage of technology and storytelling, but they hope you really only notice one of them.
Our dream is where people will come out and talk about, how they felt about a character, or if they were moved, or what they laughed at, and then they'll say, it'll take them a while to actually get to this point, like, wow, that was animated.
With hundreds of millions of dollars on the line, it will be the story that brings people in, a story pushed forward by technology. All this while Silicon Valley's movie-making business is getting more competitive, with DreamWorks moving in to a new high-tech studio. They make some of the most successful movies in the world.
Cut it.
And they make them here in Silicon Valley.
This is
DreamWorks Animation, moving into a new 200,000 square foot Redwood City headquarters
What happened to you?
I may have let myself go.
To create and entertain.
Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro polka dot, Afro.
Our company is as much a technology company as it is a storytelling company.
Hollywood mogul and DreamWorks CEO Jeffrey Katzenberg made the trip to hang out with some of his characters and to tell us why being in Silicon Valley is so important.
The paintbrush of our artists and our imagination today is a computer. And the technology, the software, the engineering talent, it's all here in Silicon Valley.
With 600 people having just moved in, DreamWorks also announced plans to hire 200 more people. Job growth powered by a strong demand for animated movies.
For the artists, there's a huge community of artists that self-select to be in Northern California. And for the technology partnerships we have here, it's just a bonding that you don't get anywhere else in the world.
We're actually working really hard to make sure we have housing available for them, rebuilding housing downtown in a corridor so that people don't have to travel that far. So they really are part of our community.
And they lived happily
Ever
after.
If this were a movie, it would be a love story between a company known for special effects and a community feeling the ripple effects. Meanwhile, Facebook has nearly 1 billion users, which is fine unless you want to talk about Lady Gaga all the time. Now a new social network will let you do just that. Here we go inside the Silicon Valley company that has people going gaga.
anywhere else in the world.
She is, without question, the most social superstar on the planet. Lady Gaga, with 27 million Twitter followers and 52 million Facebook fans, is already a huge web presence. And what do you give the pop star who has everything? Her own social network, of course.
When people gather around these things, you know, their groups come together in ways they've never come together before.
Matt Mickelson is in charge of setting up LittleMonsters.com. He's the CEO of a Palo Alto startup called Backplane, which aims to expand social networking, one famous person and one special interest at a time.
People want to be involved in their brands. You know, whether it's Gucci or their favorite sports team, they want to affiliate with it. They want to own it. You know, and being a little monster, you know, you're not a Facebooker or a Twitterer, but you are a little monster, right? You are a Christian. You are, you know, it's what makes you up. It makes up your DNA.
Let's celebrate having each other.
In the case of Lady Gaga, it makes sense. Heck, her fans spend most of their day writing about her anyway. Why not have a place of their own?
I think if I were very, very interested in this person or idea, I probably would, but only if I was like obsessed. I don't know. I feel like I could find the same information on a broader network.
So step aside, Facebook, and get ready for a slew of social networks aimed directly at their fans.
I mean, it doesn't just stop with Lady Gaga. This is all about multiple brands, you know, interests, affinities, and movements.
The kind of place where you can hang out and go gaga. Back in the real world, a huge change at the top of Yahoo came with more than a new CEO. It came with something it seems everybody is talking about. The work-family mix was topic number one online today after new Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer announced that she's expecting a child and will take, quote, a few weeks of maternity leave and work through it. Comments were swift and often brutal. Lots of people saying things like, welcome to reality.
I have been in that position.
Marilyn Nagel is the CEO of Watermark, a Silicon Valley company that advises executive women. She says Meyer's big week could be a changing point when it comes to how women and families are seen in the executive suite.
Demonstrate your commitment does not mean sacrifice your family or the other elements of your life.
Because, she says, a CEO succeeds because of results, whether male or female.
If a male leader is leading a meeting and feels like he needs to go out because he's got an appointment with someone or a golf date with someone, he says, I need to be out of here at 3. If a woman says, I need to be out of here at 3, people immediately assume, oh, she's distracted, she's not as committed.
When it comes to Yahoo, Meyer says they didn't blink at the idea of hiring a pregnant CEO. Good for them, says Nagel, especially in the modern era of technology.
Your commitment should be judged based on your results and the work or your leadership. It should not be based on the number of hours you're in the office, because we all are available online nowadays 24/7.
We want to know how you feel about all this, and you can let us know on our Facebook page. Just visit technowtv.com on Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, the social networking giant is looking to the future, bringing interns on board to work side by side with engineers. Here's a look at the world's coolest summer job. They're arriving for their first day at work. And yeah, they look young, even for Facebook employees, because they are young, as in high school.
I can't wait to work. I'm excited.
They're part of the Facebook Academy, a month-long internship program for local students who not only call Facebook a neighbor, they'll call it a place to work and learn. Step 1, sign the Facebook wall.
I'm interested in computers and in technology, and I think that this internship will give me the opportunity to see whether or not I like the technology field and the fast-paced company and how it works.
So our hopes are that this experience will encourage these students to pursue not only a college education, but a college education in science, technology, engineering, or math.
Meals that are provided?
Yes, they'll get to eat here and work side by side with the people who power the world's largest social networking company, soaking up knowledge and future possibilities. Because even if the place is a little intimidating,
this campus is so big, I feel like they built a whole new city or something. It's pretty cool, and I'm just happy to be here.
A career in technology shouldn't be.
It's our responsibility to bring these kids into this environment, to expose them to our technology.
It should be something they like. All the students at the Academy will ride to and from Facebook on the company shuttle.
There's much more ahead on Tech Now, including the latest sports game. We've got a first look at football and technology fighting cancer, chips and science working together when Tech Now continues.
Welcome back. School is coming back soon, but sports video games never take a break. Tech Now's Lauren Scott shows us a football game that's at the head of the class every year.
Each summer, well before the fall and the start of the school year, EA Sports brings out their latest college football game. And this year's edition, NCAA 13, takes flight by taking to the air and giving extra emphasis to the passing game, with fundamentals at the core, from the drop back to the way that the receivers haul in the ball. The features don't stop there, as a Heisman Challenge is part of the game, and the legends of the college game get the spotlight. At the forefront of those Heisman winners to get the top billing is the most recent Heisman winner, Robert Griffin III, now a member of the Washington Redskins, but he put on the green and gold of the Baylor Bears once more for a photo shoot and a cover he shares with Barry Sanders.
To join such a prestigious group on the cover of this game is an honor. Not everybody gets a chance, only one person gets a chance every year, and I happen to be that person, so I take that in stride, and I'm proud of it.
If the college game is more your speed and you want your football fix before Madden is released at the end of August, NCAA 13 is yet another step forward for the franchise that year to year has been a legitimate contender as one of the best sports games available. On the game console, I'm Lawrence Scott.
We move on now to one of the hottest areas in startup growth in Silicon Valley, car sharing. It helps the environment, gives you a little bit of money. One of the startups doing it in a unique way is GetAround. Sam Zaid is the CEO. Thanks for joining us. Tell me what makes your car sharing service unique.
Thanks, Scott. So what makes GetAround unique is that instead of buying cars, we actually collect cars from owners. So owners are sharing cars with other people nearby. And so a car owner on GetAround can actually list their car and offset the cost of ownership by sharing it with people nearby.
Now, is this something I do by day, or is there an extended period of time I can do this if I want to unload my car and make some money on it?
Yeah, as an owner on GetAround, you have full control. You can share your car by the hour, by the day, or by the week. We include full insurance, and renters can just come to our website, or use their smartphone and instantly rent cars from people nearby.
All right, and what about the renter? I mean, if I can actually offset my car payments and kind of help the environment by sharing my car at the same time?
Exactly. So we're actually announcing today a new program we call Getaway, which is something that many owners across the country have requested for the past year. And it's a program where you can actually dedicate your car, and we'll manage the rentals on your behalf, and you can share your car full time.
That's kind of like renting out your house or something.
It's exactly renting out your house, and we think owners can make upwards of $1,000 a month on this program.
That's terrific. All right, now tell me how to get in touch with you guys. Is it an app that I download? Is it a website? What's the easiest way if I'm either a renter or a rentee?
I mean, the easiest way is just go to our website, which is www.getaround.com.
Okay.
Or to browse the App Store and download our iPhone app. And from there, you can browse cars, and you can rent anything from a Toyota Prius to a Tesla Roadster by the hour, by the day, or by the week.
And it's all insured. Any privacy concerns I need to know about?
Completely insured. We actually run driver record checks on every driver. We provide 24/7 roadside assistance and support, and the insurance is provided by Berkshire Hathaway, so it's completely insured.
All right, getaround.com. Sam Zaid, the CEO, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Scott.
Appreciate having you.
Stay with us. We'll show you how technology is on the front lines of the fight against cancer and innocent victims in the fight against pirated pornography.
First it was the music industry, now adult websites. Lawsuits being filed against people who share copyrighted material without paying. But as Tech Now's Vicki Wen shows us, innocent internet users are also being caught up in the dragnet.
No, I barely just met him.
Yeah. They are films most people would never admit to watching, let alone sharing. But the internet has propelled porn into more homes than ever before. Thousands of people view internet porn every day.
It was all wrong.
But 78-year-old Bobby Jean Thomas is not one of them.
I don't hardly know how to turn a computer on.
Bobby Jean says she was scared when she received a letter accusing her of downloading and sharing an adult film, something she denies.
It's very ridiculous. If I'd have been downloading anything, it probably would have been some gospel music.
There's a total of at least 56 of us.
This woman, who asked us not to use her name, says the same thing happened to her.
That there is no way that it happened.
In fact, she says she and her husband, an Iraq War veteran, even have an alibi for what they were doing at the time of the alleged download.
The actual date and time that they're accusing us of doing that, we were sitting on the couch watching the Survivor finale with our 12-year-old child.
Mitch Stoltz, an attorney with the Electronic Frontier Foundation, says both women are victims of a new breed of attorneys nicknamed copyright trolls.
They don't really care who they're targeting, and they don't really care whether people have actually infringed their clients' copyrights or not.
Stoltz says the trolls use special software to identify IP addresses they suspect of stealing copyrighted materials. Then they file mass lawsuits against thousands of John Does, threatening to sue unless the defendant agrees to settle for a few $1,000s.
A lot of times they'll say, well, pay us to make this go away.
And that's how they make their money.
Yes.
But attorney Mark Randazza, who represents a major adult film company, says in the 30,000 cases he's pursued, only 4 of the accused were innocent.
These companies now will put out a DVD or put out a movie online, and then within 24 hours, they will find 20 to 30,000 pirated copies.
He says the lawsuits are working.
We have found, since we started this lawsuit campaign, that piracy has gone down on my clients' materials probably somewhere around 75 to 80%.
Randazza is not one of the attorneys behind the suits involving these women, but he insists the number of people who are scared into settling is tiny.
I think that happens about as often as you see a unicorn. People don't pay because they didn't do it. All right? People pay because they did it, or it wasn't them, but it was somebody in their household.
Bobby Jean says she has no idea how she ended up as a defendant, but with the help of her goddaughter, she filed a motion to quash, and a judge agreed, dismissing the lawsuit.
I'm too old to go to jail, for a movie that I didn't even see.
And this woman says she will also fight to clear her name, and she hopes to file a class action suit to block the so-called trolls from targeting more innocent people.
I think what they're doing at the very least is unethical. and at the very most illegal.
Thanks, Vicki. Vicki contacted the attorney Ira Siegel and the firm Prenda Law. They declined to comment on the women in her story. Tech Now will be right back. Welcome back. Before we go, a story bringing technology together with the fight against cancer. A bicycle sits in the foreground at the Lance Armstrong Foundation, but the main race here is the race against cancer.
When you hear those words, you have cancer, no matter how educated you are, no matter who you have around you, it is entirely overwhelming.
That's why Virginia Tech is using new technology to accelerate the search for a cure. The goal, better understand cancer where it starts, in your DNA.
And if we can identify mutations that occur in the genome, we may have a clue as to what pathways are defective, what pathways might have brought upon the cancer, and this gives us in turn an idea of the kind of targets that we should be looking for in addressing and treating the cancer.
They're asking the question, why do two people with the same cancer often see different results? The answer may be in the data they've collected.
So unfortunately, you see people who are diagnosed and ultimately have different results. And we think that's unacceptable.
Now, through a grant from the Silicon Valley-based NVIDIA Foundation, Virginia Tech is putting this new technology into the hands of cancer researchers. This is allowing them to more quickly identify different types of cancer at the DNA level, which will help them develop more custom treatments.
We're looking to accelerate discovery and innovation and getting to the solutions faster, more accurately. Will set forth a revolution, arguably, that will enable these discoveries to happen at a much faster rate than ever before.
Using technology and the power of DNA to fight back on a massive scale. And with that, we bring this week's episode of Tech Now to a close. Thank you for watching. We hope to see you back here again next time.